Hey everybody, it is Spooktober here, the scary month for reading. I don't think I've said this on the channel before, but for the most part, I'm a big wuss when it comes to reading scary things. I have never read a Stephen King novel. I don't really like H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know what it is about it. I'm not against it, and when I like suspense and some horror elements and some of the fantasy that I like Malazan definitely has some horror images and feel at times, but for the most part, not really my thing. But I do have a couple of exceptions, and I wanted to run some reviews on those through this month, and this is the first one. And in this, I'm going to be reviewing Bram Stoker's Dracula, the original vampire story. Literally, look it up. This basically invented vampire literature, and it's for good reason. It's a fantastic book. I would highly, highly recommend it. It is told to you in epistolary format, so you're basically getting a lot of letters from different characters, some ship logs and newspaper articles and those sort of things. So it feels a lot like a found footage documentary or documentary movie where you're just, where they have handheld cameras from or cell phone camera footage and they put it together to make a movie. It's that, but in book form, basically. So that really makes it a page turner and really leads to a lot of mystery elements. You're wondering if the character you're reading from is reliable and if they really saw what they saw, or if it's getting changed in some way, because some of the characters are directly involved and some aren't. The opening scene is really fun and creepy. It actually opens in Transylvania with basically this realtor coming in to finish off a deal for some land in England with Count Dracula. Of course, he doesn't know that the Count is a vampire, and that leads to this very creepy business deal. And the basic plot is that Dracula is coming to England for some reason. I'm not going to say more, and that causes craziness in a couple of very particular characters in this English town. So good. And what I really appreciate about Dracula is not only is it a great story, not only is it a page turner, not only is it gothic in the most beautiful way, both in its language, its images, and its overall feel, but also I think the theme of vampires and sort of what those mythic creatures really mean is dealt with really in the best I have ever read. Generally, vampires are very sexualized, and there's a reason for that. That is sort of their place in the pantheon. But what Dracula does particularly with that idea is take it in the larger vein of desire and human desire really coloring our actions. And if it's out of control, really making those cravings bad and twisted and evil and destructive. And it does specifically deal with sexuality, but I think it also expands that a little bit outward. And in doing so, I think it avoids two of the major pitfalls that most vampire literature that I've read or come in contact with in the modern sense fall into. I think either vampires are completely over-sexualized and titillating just for the sake of being there, or there's the opposite side of things where any sort of sexuality, especially female sexuality, is demonized and made to be this bad and evil thing in all of its forms. I think Dracula rides the line right in the middle of there. We're talking about some of the dangers of lust and untempered desire without getting into sort of judgmental ruts on the road, so to speak. So I think not only is this a great work, but it also has some really profound themes that will make you think and also will make you stay up at night terrified and listening to every creak in the house as it goes. If there's any negatives in this, it's a classic for a reason, but if there's any negatives, it is potentially that if you're not going to jive with the epistolary form, it's probably not going to jive with you at all because that's the way it's written. And if you're not really a fan of, obviously, sort of that gothic feel, this isn't for you because this is the prototype of that kind of book. But overall, I think even people outside the genre like me of horror or suspense, I think can find a lot out of this. So would definitely rate Dracula highly. I am going to give it a 9 out of 10. Again, classic for a reason. If you're looking for a great book to feel Spooktober in your bones, go with Dracula by Bram Stoker. Also, the great part about it is it's super easy to get. Probably your library has a physical copy that you can get right away. There's probably not much holds on a book that is over 200, maybe over 300 years old. On Kindle, you can buy it right now for like, I think $1, maybe $1.50. And if not that and you have Kindle Unlimited, I think it's free. So there's really no reason for you not to pick this up. It's great. Check it out. As always, first in, last out.